Hey everyone, Kaylee, your friendly neighborhood hairstylist here, and today we're picking back up on that healthy hair journey. We're gonna be testing out a product that claims to fundamentally repair damaged hair. Let's see if it can do that. Spoiler alert, I've actually been trying this product out over the past 7 months, so I feel like I have an entire grasp on it, whether it is worth it, whether it works, whether I would recommend it to anybody, and actually a buddy to help me try it out. So, let's get into it. We're gonna be talking about K18, which is a hair mask that you use for every wash for 4 to 6 washes when you first get it, and then you just use it as needed afterward. It claims to work in just 4 minutes on the molecular level to heal damage from things like bleach, color, chemical services, and heat. And it claims to give immediate and lasting results, and you should see enhanced strength, smoothness, softness, and bounce in your hair. Essentially, this product is meant to be the answer for stressed and damaged hair, which mine often is. And it's all about taking your hair back to kind of how it was before you ever did any damage on it. Maybe not 100%, but like a lot closer than it is currently. If your hair is similarly stressed and damaged, that is. And I don't know about you guys, but I have been seeing this all over my feed. It has been everywhere, and the before and afters have looked so good. Especially Abby Young is somebody that I really love on TikTok and YouTube, and her hair is amazing, and she credits a lot of it to K18, and so I was like, I do need to try this. I need to try this out. I need to see if it's as good as it is for everybody else. I need to tell my braidaholics about it. I will go ahead and say that I did use it once upon a time, back when it first launched, and I did not like it back then. I didn't at all. I did decide to try it again, and I'm gonna go into like both of those experiences later on. But now, after getting to try it out again, I've gotta say there are some pretty cool things that it does, and I really want you guys to see my own before and afters closer to the end of the video. I thought what we should do first, before we jump into anything else, is talk about the science behind it, because I know you guys are some nerdaholics and you guys love this as much as I do. So let's talk a little bit about how K18 works and how it's different from literally everything else on the market, really. We're gonna be going into kind of like the composition of hair so that we can talk about how bond builders work, and then how K18 is different and similar and how it technically works. When you're looking at your hair strand, first on the outside, we've got our cuticle layer. That's lots of little shingles laying over each other, and it helps to protect the inside of your hair. The inside of your hair is the cortex, and it's a lot like a rope. And I want you guys to picture one with me, a rope, a chunky rope, like a seafaring, sail hoisting rope. If you think about making a rope, you start with some string, and you wrap that string around each other a bunch of times until you get thread. You take those threads and you wrap around a bunch of times until you get some yarn. Then you wrap that a bunch of times until you get some cord. You wrap those a bunch of times and you get a rope. At the end of the day, you have rope. And rope is rope, but rope is also millions of strings working together to create a very strong structure. That may or may not be like completely perfectly accurate to how rope is made, but I think it's a really good picture for what hair is like. Because we have our little tiny threads of keratin that are wrapped around each other to make bigger sections, and then those are wrapped to make bigger sections all the way through our hair. Hair is hair, but it's also lots and lots and lots of little polypeptide chains wrapped around each other to make hair. So we're gonna zoom in on our little polypeptide / keratin buddies. So zooming on in, you're gonna see that we have a bunch of amino acids all linked up in a row. There's a bunch of different kinds in hair, and they are linked together by peptide bonds. And once those amino acids have been linked together, you get a polypeptide chain. For us, the fun part is that you're gonna take 2 of those, you're gonna wrap them around each other, and then secure them with some little side bonds. And those are the bonds that we end up talking about a whole lot when we're talking about bond building. Here you can see we have hydrogen, disulfide, and salt bond. You'll notice that the hydrogen and the salt are designated by little dashes. That's because they are less permanent. Your hydrogen bonds break and reform when they go from hot to cool or wet to dry. Your salt bonds break and reform by having the pH raised too high, and then they come back together when you get the pH back where it belongs, which is why pH balanced hair care is very helpful. And then you have your disulfide bonds, which are covalently attached, which means that they are a lot more permanent and a lot more important for the overall strength and resilience of your hair. They can be affected by things like a whole lot of heat styling, chemical services, that kind of thing. And when they break, you lose those little horizontal rungs in the ladder, and that's essentially the glue holding everything together inside your hair. So the more that happens, the more you are prone to breakage, loss of elasticity, frizz, things you don't want. I like to think of side bonds breaking like a Jenga tower, where you've like pushed out one too many blocks and it's getting kind of precarious. That's kind of a good way to picture how this is going to affect your hair, because you need that structure and support, and when you lose it, things are a lot easy to break. So there you go. That is generally your hair structure, generally why bonds are important. Here's what your normal bond builder that wants to address disulfide bond breakage is gonna do. When a disulfide bond breaks, you've got the 2 sulfur atoms that are left out in the cold all alone. We hate that. Your bond builder is gonna come in and it's going to cleave to each of the broken ends of the disulfide bond and create a nice permanent connection on either side. And then in between those is going to string together a nice little ionic bond. It's kind of like creating a rope bridge, if you will, with like a nice strong attachment on either side and a somewhat more flimsy but helpful bridge in between. If you guys remember, our salt bonds are also ionically linked. It is very lovely and important to have those 2 reconnected, but it's also helpful to note that it's not connected in the same permanent, super strong way that it was before. And it's one of the reasons why reapplying those products over and over and over again is very helpful, because you're kind of re-upping those connections. So while it's not covalently more permanently bonded like we would hope, it is rebonded. You do have that little kind of Jenga piece back in there, and we do love to see it. The way that K18 says that they work, and I do need to note, both K18 and a lot of the other like big names in this category keep their stuff very proprietary and very secret, with good reason. No beef from me on that, but it's also like a little hard for me because I want to go in and be like, like I want to look under the curtain. I don't want to just trust what you're telling me. But at the same time, like, this is where we are. This is where we are. And until I have more information, this is what we know about it. So when we're thinking about K18, it's actually helpful to zoom out a little bit on the damage that happens to our hair when it is damaged, because we were just talking about side bonds so far. And again, side bonds, they're glue, they're important, we need. However, when our hair is damaged, our peptide bonds are also damaged. Remember that we have amino acids that are connected by peptide bonds? The peptide bonds break from damage as well. And currently, most bond builders are not addressing that. So then how does K18 work on that? You've got a really, really rickety ladder going on. Like, how is it supposed to help fix it? Well, K18 was actually the discovery after over a decade of research trying to find the perfect molecule, peptide, whatever that was going to work for this situation. And I'm just gonna read for you what the co-founder of K18 has to say about how and why it works. K18 turned out to be the unique peptide sequence that solved the puzzle, having just the right composition of cysteines, the structure, the adjacency, and the length to fit right in and bind itself covalently with the keratin chains, both in length and laterally, while also participating in interchain and intrachain actions and disulfide reconformation. Essentially, K18 is able to create a much more permanent bond, both sideways with that disulfide bond, but also vertically with those peptide bonds. So you're getting that rebuilding both on the rungs of the ladder and the poles of the ladder. And the result should be hair that is significantly stronger and closer to how it was before it was ever damaged. We're looking for damage reversal here, essentially. The bonds from K18 should be stronger and able to withstand something like being exposed to high pH, but of course with a whole lot of damage, whether it's manual styling, UV damage, heat, chemicals, they can be broken again just like the other bonds in your hair. So as a result, reapplication occasionally is encouraged, and we will talk about that in a minute. Oh, okay, my brain is tired. Did you guys enjoy going full nerdaholic on that one? Because I never know exactly how much science to include in a video like this. I felt like this was helpful. Let me know what you thought. Okay, but the question after all that is, does it really work? Because like, things can claim to do all sorts of cool stuff, but does it actually do it? And does it actually make a difference if it does? Let's discuss my experience. So let's rewind back to 2022 when I first tried it. Now, when it was first on the market, they were all about how you had to put it in as kind of a leave-in mask. So you were supposed to shampoo your hair, towel dry it, and then put the K18 in it and just go. And it didn't really say anything about additional products, so I think the times that I used it, I didn't even do leave-in products after it. And my hair was so angry. Oh, I cannot express enough how upset my hair was. It was like straw, like petrified, this. it was like this. I was dealing with a lot of breakage and dryness and kind of matte texture on my hair because my hair had been overly processed in the salon, and it was not making it any better. And I kind of felt like it might have made it worse at the time. And so yeah, I used it maybe twice and I was like, I'm done with this. She is not my friend. I do not like her. But you know, 2 years and a whole lot of TikTok ads will make a difference on you because I decided to try it again. So let's rewind in time and find out a little bit more about what my hair was looking like. Okay, so now it's time to talk about my hair before. But also, I thought it would be fun to bring on somebody else to try out K18 as well. So, Anna Laura!
Oh yeah!
Would you like to try some K18?
I would love to try some K18. Are you gonna tell me what that is?
Yes. So this is your K18.
Okay.
You want to know what it is?
Please tell me.
So it's a bond builder, like
Okay.
kind of in the vein of Olaplex, but it actually works fully differently. Just to like super simplify,
Yeah.
they've already heard this.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see your before now, and then we're gonna see in 6 showers and see. I've already been using mine, so we're gonna rewind in time for those clips. And I would say for me, my hair, what I was noticing before was that, I mean, you guys saw it. It was the ends were fried. They were distressed. A little bit like of a matte finish to my hair, which was odd to deal with, and it didn't really matter what I put on it. Tangling a lot more easily than normal.
Okay.
How would you say your hair, like any ailment?
I mean, I think my hair has just been like feeling very like dull and dry recently. Pretty much every time I'm styling my hair, I'm putting in some sort of like oil or leave-in cream to like actually make it look not so thirsty. Just overall, like, the moisture that I'm putting into it doesn't feel like it's like lasting as long as it used to.
Very cool.
Cool.
So Anna Laura and I were off on our K18 journey, and before I show you the journey and the afters, I do want to talk about how to apply K18 because it is quite particular and very important. So the rule is it needs to go on clean, damp, towel dried hair. It needs to sit for 4 minutes, and then you can do whatever you want. So for me and my hair, what I do is a clarifying shampoo first, and then I towel dry my hair while I'm still in the shower and split my hair in half. Then I apply 1 pump to each side of my hair and then clip it back up on top of my head and go about my shower while it sits for 4 minutes. After the 4 minutes is up, you can apply conditioner or not, depending on what you like. For me, I absolutely do. So I go ahead and I rinse out the rest of the K18, put in conditioner, and then continue showering and then rinse out the conditioner once I'm done. And then after the shower, I use the same leave-in products as I normally would. An important thing to note about K18 is that it is very highly concentrated, and the max you should be using on your hair is 3 pumps. My advice to help apply that is to actually take 1 pump in your hand and then rub your hands together vigorously until it starts to look like your hands are covered in sunscreen. And that way you've got a nice like thin layer of the product on your hands, and it's easier to work it over the section a lot more effectively, but you can also see where product still is on your hands so none of it goes to waste. And I want to add here that rubbing it between your hands is not necessary to activate it or anything for the efficacy of the product. There was a little bit of a rumor going around TikTok for a while that you had to rub it between your hands, and the brand has come forward and said absolutely not, you do not have to do that, but it can make application easier if you want to. I will say that following with conditioner and then all of my leave-in products has been essential for my hair. It has never liked when I don't use conditioner or my leave-in products, so I just keep going with that routine. But Anna Laura actually ended up really liking using it without conditioner. So it's definitely something to play around with and figure out what works best for you and your hair. But all that said, let's see how this journey went. For the first 1 or 2 washes, I don't think I saw a ton of difference on my hair, but by the 3rd wash, I had some thoughts. Getting post blow dryer fluffy hair today. So it's a little less shiny and smooth than normal, but oh my goodness, it's still very shiny and smooth. I'm so excited about this. Also, I've been noticing that my little wavy curly areas, look at that, are so much wavier and curlier than normal, especially after a blow dry. Normally they just kind of go away when I dry my hair. Look at that. And I'm wondering if that has anything to do with the fact that like my bonds are getting repaired. And so like the structure of my hair that kind of, you know, your waves and curls break down the more damage you put on it. Like, are they coming back because they're getting healthier? I'm excited about this. So we're 3 out of 6 in.
let's see how this goes.
And then by the 5th wash, this is how my hair was looking. And I finished the 6th wash right before my Christmas morning hairstyles video. So here's how it was looking for that. I will say the tangliness continued to be an issue for me for a while. And I eventually discovered that I feel like my hair just really needs a good cleanse before I use K18. I do use a ton of products in my day-to-day life, so I feel like maybe just the buildup plus K18 on my teeny tiny fine little hair strands just don't go well together. So doing the clarifying shampoo beforehand became the GOAT for me. And here we are several months later. I've obviously done my onboarding, and then I've been using it every like 3 to 4 shampoos since then. And guys, I love it. I'm just, spoiler alert, I'm really happy with how it's turned out. I will say that I have noticed more shine on my hair. I did not notice it immediately. It took a little while, but I have noticed more shine on my hair. I'm noticing that my waves seem to really be coming back in a lot more. I have just kind of always assumed that because I have a lot of damage on my hair, between like bleaching and heat styling, all the things, that like a wavy journey was never gonna be for me. But honestly, like I'm seeing more and more waves in my hair now, and I'm thinking like maybe I could try it. I will say I think that I'm noticing a lot less breakage. It's really hard to quantify that, but I have a lot less hair in my hairbrush these days. And I don't think I'm seeing any of that little like snowfall of breakage when I'm brushing my hair, which is amazing. And the other reason that I really feel like I'm not having as much breakage are the ends. They still look really full, and it's been 6 months. This is incredible for my hair after 6 months. And I think overall, it's like so intangible, but my hair feels a lot more like I remember it feeling before I really went through the journey of my channel. Because, you know, I've styled my hair so much, I've bleached my hair so much, and it's so much closer to kind of how I remember it being before I was damaging it at all. And that's so nice. So overall, I'm feeling like all of the markers that I normally look at to see how healthy my hair is are just like green flags over again. All of the greenest of flags. So those are my experiences with K18, but now I want to bring on Anna Laura and see how she felt about it. Oh, Anna Laura!
Hello!
Okay, so tell me about your time using K18. How was like that initial like 4 to 6 shampoos in a row?
Yeah. So I'll be honest, like showers 1 and 2, I was like, didn't really see anything.
Honestly, same.
I think that showers like 3 and 4 is really where it started to feel different for me. By 3, I think I was like, oh, interesting. And then by 4, I was like, okay, wait, this is very different.
Oh,
because my curls just like completely popped after like shower number 4.
Overall, what would you say is like changed? What's new? What's different? Pros and cons?
No tangles. That's huge.
She has some of the most tangly hair I've ever seen.
Yeah,
but not anymore.
Not anymore. The shine is definitely there. I mean, I think I remembered like saying whenever we were filming the befores of this that my hair just felt very like thirsty, and like every single day I was applying an oil, and that really was not happening at all. Like I would reapply an oil every once in a while because I was wearing it natural, so it would like tame the frizz a little bit, but certainly not every day, and definitely not because it was like looking thirsty like it was before. This is like kind of a con. Like I feel like my hair does not hold a curl as well. Like I don't know if I should tell the people that. I don't know. Are we supposed to be being honest here? Are we being honest?
Yes, we're being honest.
I love that.
Abso-freaking-lutely. No, I feel the same way. Like my hair, it feels more like it did, like how I remember it feeling when I first started my channel.
Yeah.
And some of you guys were here for that. I don't know if you remember that my hair like did not hold a curl back then. It's a lot of that, like the healthier, that's just true across everybody, everywhere. The healthier your hair is, the harder it is for it to hold a curl. So frustrating.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my hair has gotten healthier enough that I noticed that and I'm using the exact same tools.
Yeah, right.
And the exact same products. But yeah, it's not holding a curl as easy.
Right. And I should clarify, hold a curl, like hold a heat style curl.
Yes.
Like not my natural curls, but like holding like a blowout style or like anything with a hot tool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then I think like the other big thing is just like in my curl pattern, like I think that it's just like from roots to ends. I feel like it's showing it like a lot more consistently of like that wave pattern. Yeah. And it was like building those clumps a lot more.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Because that's like one of the hard things when you're like training your curls.
Yes. This is like just like my like marketing take of like,
okay,
if I like, and I've already gotten 2 people to buy it since I've been on it.
Oh
so
my goodness.
I was like, but it's really like one of those like high maintenance moments to be like a low maintenance girly. It's kind of like getting like a lash lift or something where it's like you do something like up front that feels a little bougie, like purchasing an $80 bottle of, you know, treatment. But then what it's allowed me to do is like literally just wear my hair natural and like let it air dry, and it's like really smooth and like, yeah, just one of those things that's like you're investing up front to be like a high maintenance girly so you can be like low maintenance throughout the rest of the time. That's how I feel about it.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I'm so glad you liked it.
Yeah, I really liked it. Thanks for gifting it to me.
Oh, of course.
I really do think that I would buy it. Like at this point, like I would. I think it's like one of those caveats that's important of like you gave it to me to test, so like obviously I was going into it without a monetary like investment in it to start with, but I genuinely would buy it now.
Oh wow.
So.
Wow, that's high praise.
High praise. All right, guys. Well,
till next time for Anna Laura.
Till next time, I'll see you guys later. Sign off.
I'm so grateful to Anna Laura for joining me on the journey so you guys could see the difference on her hair as well as mine. I feel like overall, I just have to say how excited I am about K18 and how much it transformed my hair. I feel like I've never seen this much difference from one singular product ever, and that makes sense because like every product is not out there trying to like fundamentally reconstruct your hair, but I am very, very, very grateful for it because it's done a lot for my hair. It is way healthier and shinier than I thought I could get it, if I'm being honest, with all the damage that's on it, and it was with one product. Before I wrap up the video, I want to address some of the concerns I was seeing in the reviews on Sephora and Ulta and websites like that. People are complaining about seeing a lot of dryness on their hair. They're describing their hair like straw. They're saying that they're experiencing more breakage as a result of K18. And some people are just saying they're not seeing a difference whatsoever. Now, I don't know any of these people, obviously, so I can't like go in and like feel their hair and see how they're using their product or anything like that. But as somebody that had like a pretty negative experience with K18 and then ended up having a really positive experience with K18, I just wanted to like reiterate that application is so, so, so important. Because the first time I used it, I wasn't using a clarifying shampoo. I was using way more than 3 pumps. I wasn't following it with conditioner, and I wasn't using any of my leave-in products. And I was doing all of that on hair that was way more kind of fried and stressed than it had ever been before. And so like it's no surprise to me looking back that like I took away like half of the things that I used to help my hair out, and then it was already stressed to begin with. So obviously to me, in retrospect, it was not looking happy. But then once I learned to add all this stuff in and I started doing the clarifying shampoo to make sure that my hair was really clean before I put K18 on, and only using 2 pumps. And then after the 4 minutes of it sitting on my hair, putting on the conditioner and doing my leave-in products as usual, that ended up changing everything for me and my experience of K18. So I would want to extend that to anybody that's had trouble with it. Make sure your hair is super, super cleansed before you use it. Make sure that you try it out with and without conditioner to see what works with you. I'd also recommend waiting until that like 4th, 5th, 6th shower for results. Those first 1 and 2, Anna Laura and I saw nothing. And so I would assume that it would be a similar experience for other people. If you are going in with that like really rickety Jenga tower of hair, it's gonna take a little while for all those little pieces to get put back in. And so you gotta give it time. You gotta give it those couple of washes before you really start to evaluate whether or not it's actually doing anything or not. I think if you just go off the first one, you probably wouldn't be too happy. But if you go off the 4th or 5th one, you might have a much different experience. At the end of the day, everybody's hair is different, and I don't want to discount anybody's experience. It is totally possible that somebody could buy this product, use it the perfect way, and it not work for them. I just wanted to add this caveat just in case it could help somebody that's trying to figure out how to make it work. But all that said, those are my thoughts and experience with K18. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. It was a mammoth to film and produce, but I really, really love this product, so I wanted to make sure I did a good job and give you guys like as much information as possible. So I hope that you enjoyed it. And with all that said, jump cut!
We're so annoying. I love that.
Anna Laura insisted on being part of the outro,
Had
which
to be.
Obviously. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for trying out all of this stuff.
So
I could not
welcome.
appreciate it more. And that is it for today. So whether you're old
Or new.
or a casual lurker,
Thank you for spending time with us.
and I'll see you in the next video.
Mwah!
Bye!
Still got it.
Oh,
and that was good.
Dang.
We're on it today.
I haven't even noticed as many of those little... What was that? Okay, cool. Curls. Oh, Today is today.
Today's today.